Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about the Magna Carta, a historic document from 1215 that established the principle that everyone, including the king, is subject to the law. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. History paintings often depict King John sitting at a desk with a feather quill, signing his name at the bottom of the Magna Carta to make it the official law of the land. And that's how many people picture the actual event, the king signing his name with a big feather pen. But is that the way it really happened? What do you think? Did King John use a feather quill to sign his name on the Magna Carta? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is charter. That's C-H-A-R-T-E-R. A charter is a formal document issued by a sovereign, state, or governing body granting rights, liberties, or privileges to specific individuals or groups. In the context of the Magna Carta, which translates to Great Charter, it was a written guarantee of traditional rights that the rebellious English barons demanded from King John. The document served as a binding legal contract limiting the monarch's power and establishing specific legal procedures. Today, we use the word charter for documents that establish corporations, cities, and academic institutions outlining their operational boundaries and granted authorities. The word charter comes from the Latin word charta, which translates to paper, document, or map. The Latin term was borrowed from the ancient Greek cartas, referring to a leaf of papyrus. During the Middle Ages, as legal agreements moved from spoken promises to written records, the term evolved to mean the parchment these agreements were written on. Over the centuries, that meaning shifted again from the physical writing material to the legal concepts written upon it, giving us the modern definition as a foundational document of rules and rights. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about the Magna Carta. Number 1. There are only 4 known original copies of the Magna Carta from 1215 that are still around today. In 1215, scribes made multiple copies of the Magna Carta to distribute throughout the kingdom, but only 4 known copies of those original documents are still around today. The scribes working in the royal chancery wrote the text by hand on parchment made of sheepskin, and they distributed these copies to sheriffs and bishops across England to ensure the new laws were read aloud to the public. 2 of these remaining originals are in the British Library in London. The other 2 have been in Salisbury Cathedral and Lincoln Cathedral for centuries. These surviving documents look very different from modern legal contracts. The scribes wrote the text in iron gall ink, a medieval ink made from oak galls and iron salts that darkens over time. But it's the formatting that would really be rough on the eyes for modern readers. To fit all the text onto a single sheet of parchment, the writers used medieval Latin compressed with abbreviations. And there are no paragraph breaks or section numbers in the original text. It was just one continuous block. Number 2. The original Magna Carta was actually annulled just 10 weeks after it was issued. Although we view it as a foundational legal document today, the 1215 Magna Carta failed as a peace treaty and was legally voided within 3 months. King John agreed to the barons' demands under duress, as they had captured London and threatened his rule. Once the barons dispersed, King John sent envoys to Pope Innocent III in Rome to complain about the forced agreement. The Pope sided with the king and issued a papal bull declaring the charter null and void forever. This cancellation plunged England into a civil war known as the First Barons' War. The rebel barons retaliated by offering the English throne to Prince Louis of France, who brought an army across the English Channel. The conflict ended because King John died from dysentery in October 1216, and his supporters then reissued a revised version of the Magna Carta in the name of his 9-year-old son, King Henry III. This new version stripped out extreme clauses, gained the church's support, and successfully ended the rebellion. Number 3. The Magna Carta included regulations on fish traps. We remember the Magna Carta for its clauses regarding justice and taxation, but it also contained specific rules about fish weirs. Clause 33 of the Magna Carta demanded the complete removal of all fish weirs from the Thames River, the Medway River, and throughout all of England except along the seacoast. Fish weirs were large V-shaped traps made of wooden stakes and wooden branches placed in rivers to catch fish. The king and wealthy lords owned these traps, giving them a lot of food and revenue. The barons wanted the fish weirs removed because they created navigational hazards for boat traffic. By blocking large sections of the rivers, these traps restricted the movement of trade ships transporting goods inland from the sea. Since there were no highways or railways in medieval England, rivers were critical for long-distance transportation, and removing obstructions to the rivers was vital to the national economy. So the Magna Carta not only addressed constitutional principles, it also tackled practical commercial concerns of the 13th century. Number 4. The Magna Carta directly influenced the United States Constitution. More than 500 years after its creation, the Magna Carta served as a primary inspiration for the founding documents of the United States. When English colonists established settlements in North America, they brought their understanding of English common law, which was rooted in the Charter. For example, the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. This concept traces back to Clause 39 of the 1215 Magna Carta, which prohibited the imprisonment or punishment of free men except by lawful judgment of their equals. The Founding Fathers referenced the Magna Carta repeatedly during the drafting of state and federal documents. Several state constitutions, including those of Massachusetts and Virginia, incorporated exact phrasing from the Great Charter. In 1957, the American Bar Association put up a monument at Runnymede, the English meadow where the document was agreed upon. This monument acknowledges the Magna Carta as the foundation of American liberty and law. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: only 3 clauses of the Magna Carta remain a part of English law today. Parliament has repealed almost all of the 63 original clauses over the past 8 centuries, leaving only 3 active on the books today. The first remaining clause guarantees the freedom and rights of the English Church, protecting it from royal interference. The second confirms the traditional liberties and customs of the City of London, as well as other cities, boroughs, and ports. And the third is the famous clause guaranteeing due process and trial by a jury of peers. The other 60 clauses became obsolete or were superseded by subsequent legislation as society evolved. Many original clauses dealt with the feudal system, addressing issues like knight service, royal forests, and inheritance taxes paid in horses. During the 19th century, British lawmakers undertook a massive project to clean up the statute books, officially repealing obsolete medieval laws. Despite having been mostly overwritten, the Magna Carta remains a powerful symbol of the rule of law and the idea that governments have to operate within legal boundaries. Now for some news you can use. The barons in 1215 used a written document to clearly outline expectations and resolve conflict. You can apply this strategy in your own home by creating a set of working agreements with your family or roommates. When multiple people live together, unstated expectations about chores, quiet hours, and shared expenses can often lead to friction. Sitting down together to write out living or working agreements helps prevent misunderstandings before they start. To make it work well, schedule a time for everyone to come together and collaborate on the document. Keep the rules clear, specific, and focused just on practical matters like division of labor and space usage. Just like the Magna Carta, the goal is not to list every possible rule, but just establish a set of fair principles that everyone can agree to follow. Once you've finished and everyone agrees on the terms, post it in a shared space as a physical reminder of your agreements. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, did King John actually sign his name at the bottom of the Magna Carta with a feather quill? This one's a fallacy. Instead of a handwritten signature, King John authenticated the Magna Carta by affixing the Great Seal of the realm. Clerks melted beeswax and resin, pressed the king's official matrix into it, and attached this wax seal to the bottom of the parchment using a woven cord. In 1215, wax seals were the standard legal method for a monarch to validate official documents. Historians also say that King John had limited writing skills, making a wax seal both a symbol of royal authority and just a practical necessity. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about the Magna Carta with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.